Jai Hind friends, welcome to the Stock Regiment. I'm Major Madhav. Today we're going to talk about Nifty, Bank Nifty, and few interesting stocks that are good to buy in the near term and short term. So let's look at Nifty. The markets have been quite erratic, very volatile. If you look at the move of the markets, you can see very evidently over here that there are gap up and gap down openings that have frequently been happening. So this gives you a lot of uncertainty on holding any position in the market, because the opening on the next day decides a lot of things, and such kind of variations give you a quick loss and at times a very good profit as well. So, in such kind of very unreliable, erratic, volatile markets, what is the best thing to do is that you stay away from getting into short term stocks or short term profit gains. You should look at long term movements over here, which over a period of time would give you sustained results. So, let's look at Nifty first and understand where would the market stop and what is the kind of position that we can hold. Since there have been a lot of erratic moments, you can see very clearly that Nifty is giving you a downward run right now. Keeping that in mind, you can also notice that there is a trend line that is quite possibly being broken right now. So there is some consolidation that is happening in Nifty, and we can expect an upward move in the coming days. So before we jump to that, we would want to see a sustained move and thereafter decide that we can take a buying position in Nifty. So let's look at some important points and levels. Right now, Nifty is at 17,102. So from these levels, the next reliable support level that I would say was somewhere around 17,900. This is the level that you see a reliable support just after 17,100 coming down. Now the next level is going to be somewhere around 16,800. Now these are very important levels, because you can see that time and again market has tested these levels and bounced from these levels. You can see during March as well, there was a sustainable support which was seen over here. Again, in April, end of April, you saw this as a support. If this support is going to get broken, you would see a fall that could come till the levels of 16,500, 16,300. So let's not go there. I would say look at this as a support right now. If this support is sustained and the market bounces from here and gives you an upward move, that is when we would jump to a buying position, not before that. Let's look at Bank Nifty. Now, Bank Nifty again is still running with a trend line. If you clearly look over here, you can see that Bank Nifty is still respecting the downward trend line that it is been running along. So you can see very clearly that Nifty is still respecting this trend line. I would not suggest a buying move over here till the time this trend line is not broken in Bank Nifty as well. Important levels of support in Bank Nifty. Let's look at the 15 minutes chart for that. Now here you can see some reliable support levels at Bank Nifty. Now the most important level is very close, which is of 35,950 levels. The second important level would be at 35,750 levels. These two are very important support levels that we would want to watch out for. If the market bounces back from here, that is when I would want to hold till the time the trend line is not broken. The trend line that we saw in the daily chart, that has to be broken till I get into a buying position in Bank Nifty. Let's look at some interesting stocks that we can buy during these times and are quite reliable in the way they have moved in the past. So the first stock that I would talk about is ABFRL, Aditya Birla Fashion Retail Limited. So this stock has been moving quite consistently. If you look at the daily chart, you can know that it is being moving in a channel, almost moving sideways for the past 4 5 months. Let's look at the weekly chart to understand this better. Now here in the weekly chart, you would see that this is consistently moving along a upward trend, and this trend is being respected. So I would say right now it is at a position to buy, perfect position to buy. 285, 280, these are the levels that you can buy this for, and your near term targets would be somewhere around 310 to 315. That is a short term target that you can look at, maybe in about 2 to 3 weeks. If these levels are broken and the stock comes below 260, that is where I would want you to be cautious and have a stop loss in that range, so that you do not lose out more. Now since the markets are volatile, we are looking at more reliable stocks which would move up in the coming future. So this is one of the stocks that looks quite reliable. Look at the daily charts. Over here, you can clearly find that the trend line is again being respected. So the level that I told you is a target of the resistance that it has seen in the far past, so which is around 310 and 315. So once the stock reaches this level, you can decide to move out of the your position and maybe buy more once it breaks this resistance. Let's look at the next stock. The next stock is Tata Coffee. Now again, going to the weekly charts, I would say Tata Coffee again is at a good position right now. I would suggest buying Tata Coffee between the range of 200 to 220. So this is a good range to buy Tata Coffee, anywhere in between over here. For a near term target, I would say that the target that you should look at ideally should be around 230 to 235. So this is the range that I'm looking at, because once this breaks out and moves up, this is the short term target that Tata Coffee is bound to achieve. On the other hand, if you want to have a stop loss over here, the stop loss should be around the range of 200, because I see a gap over here. So that gap that would be adjusted would be around 200, 190 to 200 levels. So that is the place that you should have a support, and this is the place that you can place your stop loss at. I think a reliable support over here and a reliable resistance that we can see, so you can catch the stock moving in between and make the most of it. Once again, emphasizing on the gap that I was talking about. So this is the gap that I'm talking about. So this is the gap that I'm seeing, that if this is going to break this gap, there is 210 to 190, 195. These are the levels that it would suddenly skip and fall. So we are looking at a sustained move above these levels, so we can see a breakout from here. So once this breakout happens, you can have the levels of 230 to 235 getting achieved easily. So that is a stock that you can have, hold it for about 3 to 4 weeks, and thereafter looking at selling the stock. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. Jai Hind. Have a good day.